The electrician halted dead in his tracks, his face paling as he eyed the chaotic web of illicit extension cords trailing from my cabin's fuse box into the shadowy woods, resembling some malevolent, creeping infestation from a thriller flick. "Sir," he breathed, voice laced with disbelief, "you're essentially electrifying her entire home." Moments later, the sheriff's deputy arrived, lights pulsing ominously, a search warrant gripped tightly in his fist. "Call me Robert Hayes, a retired aerospace engineer who scooped up a quaint lakeside retreat in Crescent Hollow, a gated community, peddling its lake life with standards, vibe, as the ultimate serene escape. My dreams were modest, reeling in base at dawn, savoring strong coffee on the deck, and crafting birdhouses to while away the hours. But serenity evaporated the instant I crossed paths with Linda Voss, the iron-fisted HOA president residing 2 doors down, who ruled with the unhinged zeal of a cornered beast deprived of its fix. She cornered me amid moving boxes, clipboard at the ready, droning on about Section 8.40 wind chimes audible past 3 feet and demanding to know if my porch bulb complied with federal lumen specs. I laughed it off as eccentric neighbor banter. Her piercing gaze, pen frozen midair like she was neutralizing a live grenade, screamed otherwise. Hindsight. That was the glaring omen I ignored. The anomalies hit around week 3. Power bills surged astronomically, even on trips when the place sat empty. My router glitched out at precisely 3 a.m. Nightly, a precision that reeked of foul play. Peculiar tracks materialized behind my generator's shed, too human, too deliberate for mere animals. I chalked it up to raccoons or prankster teens initially, but illusion shattered during a mundane leaf-raking session. A hefty orange cord, alien to me, jutted from my exterior outlet. I tailed it like a hard-boiled detective, watching it weave under barriers, through undergrowth and debris, culminating at an overloaded surge protector tucked behind Linda's ornate koi pond setup. Shock hit like a gut punch. It wasn't just the pond. She was siphoning juice for her chest freezer, a porch tanning station, and her so-called vital sun therapy lamp. The brazen entitlement floored me. Storming over at sunrise, brew in hand to temper my rage, I braced for remorse. Instead, she sneered, shoving a fabricated HOA edict labeled Communal Resource Sharing Protocol. As elected leader, she proclaimed with haughty flair, she wielded sovereign rights to redistribute assets amid seasonal spikes. I blinked, questioning her sanity. "Linda," I ground out, "this is outright larcenia felony." She flicked her wrist dismissively, threatening citations for hostile encroachment on her domain. Fury ignited my inventive spark. I mounted a stealth cam zeroed on the sockets, wired a power meter for exact theft tallies, and in a flash of spiteful cunning booby-trapped a decoy outlet with glitter explosives. Vindictive? Undeniably. Triumphant? Spectacularly so. Come 2:30 a.m. Tuesday, footage nabbed Linda in her frayed robe, slinking across with fresh wiring. Insertion kaboom. A glittering purple-gold maelstrom engulfed her. The wail she unleashed could have roused the dead across the water. She barreled to my threshold at first light, Flex still clinging despite desperate washes, howling accusations of vandalism and glitter warfare assault. Unfazed, I cued the video, noting duplicates dispatched to the sheriff. Rage morphed to ashen dread. "Impossible," she gasped. "I'm the president." Like that granted criminal amnesty. Law enforcement pounced that week, exposing nightmares beyond pilferage. Her makeshift grid sidestepped her breakers, forging a tinderbox nightmare defying safety mandates. Utilities probed, uncovering $2,700 in swindled energy over 8 months, saniseeding my tenure, evidently bullying the former occupant into exodus. The HOA council, drained by her epic tirades on foliage decorum and feeder elevations, summoned a crisis session. Proof tabled, they axed her tenure in unison, a relieved sigh escaping one. At last, sanity in session sans marathon rants. Linda countered with a bulletin blitz, branding me a saboteur eroding HOA sanctity. Backlash boomeranged. Locals unloaded sagas of her poaching Wi-Fi creds and outright plant heists. The prosecutor filed for grand theft and endangerment. Splintering the neighborhood, whispers debated if her draconian edicts preserved order or if her ouster exposed systemic HOA flaws, fueling arguments over whether such bodies empowered bullies or safeguarded values. Post-indictment, she materialized at my stoop, beseeching charge drops, brandishing absurd crayon-sketched schematics as exoneration. Simple mix-up, she wheedled, preaching communal harmony. The hypocrisy stung. I stressed the state drove this, not personal vendetta. Comprehension eluded her, pleas persisting. Court day overflowed. Gawkers jammed seats. Journalists poised. Linda strutted in a badge-laden jacket and bilo-emblazoned skirt, her bizarre nod to decorum. Accusers unveiled irrefutable clips, robe-shrouded nocturnal hauls of her crockpot over my turf for hookup, serial intrusions, drain data, and hazard dossiers depicting deranged hubris. Defying counsel's veto, Linda mounted the stand, orating endlessly on inherent authority for resource shifts and the 97 Charter's tacit nods to crisis incursions. The bench grilled. What crisis demanded tanning on purloined power? Her straight-faced quip, sustaining my command aura uplifts group spirit, elicited courtroom chuckles, igniting side debates on delusion versus calculated deceit. Her advocate groveled for mercy via civic dedication, but the judge guffawed. Counsel, this reeks of graft, not goodwill. He hefted a dossier, 17 gripes spanning years per dawn lawn audits with rulers, hefty penalties for improper avian visitors. Fixing on Linda, he thundered, "You've twisted a neighborly forum into autocracy." She bolted upright, furniture grating. Valid infractions under clause, he quelled her. Perused your tome, 470 pages. Suburban sage mailboxes? Phased out in '03. Murmurs swelled. A victim yelped. Tripled fines on me. Pre-bailiff intervention. Post-session, controversies raged. Did her zeal cross into harassment, or did lax enforcement invite chaos? Were complainants complicit in silence? Conviction unanimous. The jurist, lambasting the peak absurdity of faux dominance in decades, decreed 60 days incarceration, 200 hours wiring public parks, triennial oversight, eternal exile from state HOA helm, $2,700 payback, and a jaw-dropping $50,000 levy for perils that nearly incinerated homes. Linda's legs faltered at the sum, gripping what his color fled, murmuring, 50 grand. Weeping followed, counsel despairing. Climax, lifelong prohibition from governance panels. Draft court-vetted regrets to all dwellers. Jaw slack like a beached trout, she lamented. But leading's my essence. What's left? Stoic, the judge retorted. Pursue pastimes devoid of neighborly plunder or shocks. As guards steered her exit, she venomously eyed me. You're doing. You shattered it all. I shrugged coolly. Wrong, Linda. You ignited your inferno by tapping my socket for your glow-up. Her receding diatribes on lighting norms and turf trims lingered, polarizing the hollow. Triumphant justice or overkill vendetta?